Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Old Pete Gaming. I'm your host, Old Pete. Now let's get back into the long dark. So we are on our 7th episode already, I realized. It's hard to believe that. It's also hard to believe how many places we've been already. Starting in Timberwolf Mountain with a wolf right ahead of us straight away, and then making our way throughout a large part of Pleasant Valley already, and now getting ready to abandon this godforsaken zone for the white blanket equivalent of greener pastures. And I have decided which way I'm going to go. I know at the end of the last episode I was torn. I've spent the intervening time thinking about it, and I have decided, but I am going to keep you in suspense as to what my decision is for the time being. Only for the time being, I promise. So, we have got to cut some weight. We're at 41.8 kilograms, and we currently can carry 15. So that's why you hear me breathing so heavily. In-game version, that is. So let me review my clothing situation again. I know I went through this whole thing with carrying the Mackinac jacket on my body because it's lighter. I'm not going to beat the military coat unless I manage to find an expedition parka somewhere. The Mackinac jacket is not that much better than the ski jacket, although this is 72% and the ski jacket's 89%. So it's not a totally fair comparison, but it's also half a kilogram heavier, and that's quite a bit of weight, honestly. Still wearing the best ones. Combat boots so I can kick a wolf in the face. I'm so stoked on this hat. Like, that is one of the best hats you can get. So on the cowl, but I am stoked about the hat. Oh, didn't we get better gloves? I hate starting off an episode like this because I kind of want to sleep. We have enough water to get through the night. We do. I know we have a ton of food. The reason I want to sleep right now, or I'm considering sleeping right now, is because my condition has started to reach the 66% line, which means that I'm not going to be able to restore full condition most likely through a full night of sleep. And so I kind of need to stop losing condition here. So let's see, what can we do? Let's drink the soda. Those are heavy. That will give us some calories. And I am going to I'll sleep for 2 hours. This is a little backwards. Normally, if I'm fully exhausted, I'll sleep the full 10. And then I'll do, if depending on what the weather's doing and whatnot, I'll usually do the final 2. But the reason I did that was because I want to use this last little bit of light to fix up these gloves if we can. Will it work? And I don't want to lose any more condition.
Find a place to rest.
Hey, look at that. 95% conditioned wool gloves. Oh, that's almost a half a degree warmer. Not to mention the wind bonus. Well, there is no wind bonus. That's surprising. It's saying that these 95% wool gloves give you as much wind protection as the 91% fleece mittens, which I would think maybe. I'm not a wool glove expert. I would just think that it would give you a little bit more protection. But it does not. And with that, I think we should probably just go to sleep, and then we'll have a nice full day ahead of us to start out this episode. So let's do that. Eat peanut butter. What does that put us at? We need about 750, so I need about 200 more calories. So I'll eat some of this. That puts me at... that's only 14 off of 14 points, or 14 calories away from my goal, so that's perfect. We're as close as I need to be to perfection. So we'll get a full 10 hours of sleep. And just for reference point here, this is how much health I have, so we'll see how much a full night of sleep gives us here. See you in the morning. Alright. So you can see we are just below full health. So that amount of health that we're missing there is about what we can get from a full 10-hour night's sleep, which is the most that we can sleep in one sitting. You want to sleep for as much as you can when you're trying to restore your health, because it steps up with each hour that you sleep. So for hour 1, you get 1% back. For hour 2, you get 2% back. For hour 3, you get 3% back. And it goes up like that all the way to 6 hours, at which point the percent caps out at 6%. So from hours 6 to 10, you're getting 6% health restoration per hour, basically. And so obviously those last 4 hours, if you're sleeping a nice long rest, that's going to be the bulk of your condition recovery, is those last 3 or 4 hours where you're again rocking that 6% back to back. And that's why you don't want to sleep in, say, 2-hour spurts if you're trying to recover health. If you're already, full health, you can do that if you want, where you just sleep in little spurts. I don't think there's much benefit to it, but you do you. Alright, so not much there. We'll check the car. We'll check the ruins of these buildings. I'm not expecting to find a whole lot here, just because I think we've already hit the areas that were most likely to give us loot. Firewood. I have in the past found like a hatchet. Of course that was in the old build, but I have found a hatchet in those planter boxes before.
Looks like I survived another night.
So all that's really left to check out is, there's a friendly wolf letting us know he's there to keep our distance. Very kind of him. The only place that's left to check out is over here, this fire barrel area, and then down here by the canoe. Might be some loot in these areas. And once we finish that, we'll need to go in and warm up anyway. And then I'm going to do a final comb through of my inventory. I still am carrying a lot of stuff around that I don't need to. Oh, bad camera work there. I'm going to grab these cattails. Because on these settings, you got to take any food you can get. There might be a house that we can search over across the river, but it's in the area where that wolf howled. And in case you're just joining us, we do have a flare gun, which is pretty awesome. We found that in the barn here in Pleasant Valley, which is a new thing.
My fingers feel
however, other than that, we have rocks. We don't have a revolver or a rifle or a bow. here. Need to warm up a little anyway. And I'm going to continue putting stuff down. Lord knows we have plenty to put down. We're going to need to remember that we left all this clothing here. You know what? I'm gonna trade for the ski jacket. It's just so heavy, the Mackinac. Eventually, I like to go with a wolfskin coat anyway, just because it's warmer and better in my opinion. Definitely don't need 2 can openers. Arguably don't need 1. Oh, just trying to lose as much weight as I can, because I don't want to. Oh, I forgot to put these down. Darn it! I remember even mentioning that. I'll hold on to them for now since we're about to move. Not much sense in leaving those here, but I do need to start remembering to put those down. Otherwise, I'm going to kick myself. I could lose a little weight by breaking that guy down. So, 0.15 kilogram. If you harvest it, you get an arrowhead, which is 0.07, and then 2 feathers, and they're 0.01, and so you go from 0.15 to 0.09, so 0.06 kilogram gain. I can do something similar if I prepare these, because rose hips, for some reason, like pound for pound, are one of the heaviest things in the game, especially compared to what they are in real life. Now, I want to make sure I have bandages. I do. I've done that. That's good. I have antiseptic even. That's a little heavy. But I haven't made any old man's beard dressing, so need to keep that on me for now. That's usually something I'll put down at, like, if I make a base at the Quonset and because there's wolves there constantly, so I'm going to get nicked at some point, right? So you're going to need antiseptic. So that's a good place to deploy that kind of thing. I don't know if I really checked this fireplace. I'm just looking for places I might find loot before we head out, but I think we're pretty good here. I'm gonna pass time in bed just to warm up, and that's it. We're gonna... Oh no, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, Pleasant Valley. You are so not pleasant sometimes. Well, great. Alright. I was mentioning, I think there's a door behind here. Yeah. Heck with it. I want to see what's in that cabinet. What if it was a rifle? Yeah. Kind of thought that's how that would go. Well, this is exactly why I want to get us out of this zone, guys. Because Pleasant Valley is not pleasant. It was a lie to trick you into moving here. So we're only 3 kilograms over. I'm going to put those saplings down before I forget again. At least we'll get them starting to cure. Excellent. Oh, I guess we already started them before, so we're not starting from square one. That's good. Not a lot to do when there's a blizzard in this sort of situation than to just... I mean, I do have books I could read, right? We do have a lot of food. I could... Wow, it is really loud. I'm glad that I'm able to separate my mic and the game's audio because this is very loud. Oh. It's very loud right now. Alright. So I was contemplating maybe just fixing up clothing. I think that's what I'm going to do. Normally I won't repair con socks just because they're not very good. And I more or less discard them. This pair of con socks is eating up 2 pieces of cloth. I don't know why I'm starting with repairing it. Boy, this is a very loud blizzard in this house, or this hall. Well, on the good side, we'll have lots of good conditioned clothing, you know? This is the game insisting that we slow down and repair all our nice clothing that this zone has gifted us, and so I'm not going to argue with it. It is very loud, though. Well, there's not going to be any privacy in this hall anymore. Good thing the windows are all frosted over. Okay, what else do we have that needs repairing? Boy, you know, honestly, none of this stuff is in particularly bad shape. But we have 25 pieces of clothing, so why not, right? We have to do something to pass the time. Hey, I think it's over. I think the nightmare of the Pleasant Valley Blizzard is over. Alright, so we're going to throw down some of that cloth that we got, like most of it. Keep 8 pieces of cloth. Let's grab our saplings before we forget. Boy, those could really blend in if you're not paying attention. Okay. So we're a little tired. We're a lot more tired than I had hoped to be. That was kind of a scary sound, wasn't it? We're also still heavy, but you know, I don't want to put down too much stuff. I need my stuff, you know? It's what you have here is what you get. So my family's from this area, so I happen to know that there is an old abandoned coal mine up this hill that we can get to, that if you navigate it, which we can do, I think, since we have this nice lantern, will lead you out to Coastal Highway, which is a very nice area with usually decent loot prospects, I think. Even with the rework, I think Coastal Highway should still be one of those prime loot zones. I hope. Please. Alright, oh wow, this is such good traveling weather. I'm actually genuinely excited to see the temperature right now. Can't weigh myself down too much. So the shortest way to get to that mine would be to go straight through that clump of houses, but the problem is I think there's a wolf over in that area. Not that there can't be a wolf in this area, but what I'm trying to do is skirt the wolf by going up this path here. We'll get up here and see what we can see. There's also probably another wolf or two between us and where we want to go. Let me see any movement. I don't see anything. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go that way. We have to be careful because there, as I said, can be other wolves, and there can also be a bear in this area, which is the other risk. He's a little more likely to be run into going the other way that we didn't take than going this way, but still a chance. They do roam around. Just listening. You can often hear animals before you see them. I see a rabbit, and that's good news. If this was a different zone and I was in a different position, I would certainly kill that rabbit and take its meat and its hide off and throw them in this cave. And, you know, even if I don't eat it, have it for later. But the thing is, it's getting late and we are in Pleasant Valley. And, you know, we already got skunked by a blizzard once. I don't want that to happen again. It does not make for great YouTube content. And frankly, it's just boring for me to be stuck inside with a blizzard. So I want to get out of this zone. Honestly, the weather sounds like it could be getting ready to start up again. Something could be blowing in. So we gotta get out of here. This is not a hospitable place for us right now. The audio is very strange right now. Yeah, the audio is a little off right now for some reason. This game gets like this sometimes. Usually if you reload it, it just fixes it. Unfortunately, we have to get inside in order for the game to save. Which we will do once we get to the coal mine up here. I think it's a function of sometimes the wind sound effect, I think, just kind of glitches out. But we'll get inside and get that resolved. I swear I never have half as many issues when I'm just playing as when I'm recording. It's just luck of the YouTuber, I guess. I'm taking a wide sweep here just to avoid wolves. Because there can be wolves on that hill there, but I don't think they usually come over this way. There can sometimes be saplings over here and stuff too, so it can be worthwhile checking it out. You'll get a good view over here of the rest of the terrain that you're going to have to traverse to get to the coal mine. Any saplings? No saplings. No nothing. That seems like a place that they should put some loot, you know? These like out of the way spots that I like it when you're rewarded for exploring off the beaten path in the game. Again, I apologize for the sound, guys. As soon as we can get inside, we'll try to resolve it. Fortunately for you at home, I can turn it down quite a bit, and so you probably You know, depending on how much I can play with the auto, you might not even know what the heck I'm talking about. It might sound great to you. It's just sort of a choppy effect for me right now. Alright, I don't want to tire us out too much, but it is cold and we are getting a lot colder.
Can't feel my
Kind
feet.
of, they're kind of dogging it getting up here because the temperature was so nice for a while there. Probably should have made use of that. See a deer over there, so that's good. That means that there won't be a wolf over that way. And so yeah, we should have a clear run up here. Just take this path. You get to the old coal mine. But make sure you bring a light. Dangerous going through those mines without a light. I'm gonna run. So I've now gone cold.
Cold to think.
The starvation alone doesn't damage you much, but starvation plus freezing damage will, it'll tick you down fast. It really will. I believe for cold, oh look at that. When we're shielded from the wind, our clothing is actually good enough that we're warming up. That's pretty impressive. Especially for only being on episode 7
So cold.
on these loot settings.
Just want to lay down for a bit.
Can't complain. I've had games where you're this far in and you're still not warm when you're inside, so to be warm in the shielded from the wind outside in Pleasant Valley is pretty darn good. Alright. Now we just have to make our way through an old abandoned coal mine. Okay, I think we have resolved the audio problem. This is actually light enough that I'm able to see, but for the benefit of the viewing public, we'll go ahead and do this. This will be a nice source of coal for us as we're going through this. That is one benefit to having the lantern out, even if you can get through without it. You almost certainly will not be able to see the coal as you're going through it. And coal is, besides being needed, MRE, being needed for tools, for making tools at the forges, coal is just really great to have on you. Like my standard kit in the long dark is a stick and 2 pieces of coal when it comes to fire, because that's enough for me to get warm in pretty much any situation, as long as I can find a place where I can make a fire that's protected from the wind so it doesn't get blown out. That will make a fire hot enough to get you warm, and you know, sometimes that's what will save your life in this game. If you're going through an area that doesn't have any shelters, but you can find a cave or a little, even just a sheltered area in the rocks, make a fire, warm up. It can keep you from dying of hypothermia. You can see just how much coal you get going through here. When I'm doing a long game, I will just essentially plan my routes between the zones to make sure I'm hitting up all of the mines and caves that produce coal, and that saves you a lot of maintenance on your tools, because that's all free firewood essentially that you don't have to use a tool to harvest. you know. Particularly, you can actually, you might not want to trade lamp fuel for it, but if you have the magnifying glass and a sunny day and some sticks, you can use the magnifying glass to start a fire outside the cave or the mine
too heavy to carry.
that you want to go through. Use that fire to make a bunch of torches, and then use those torches. You can chain them so that you're holding one and you have the rest unlit in your inventory, and when the one you're holding starts to tick down to the end of its life, you simply throw it on the ground, pull out a different torch, walk up to it, and that will allow you to light that torch on the other torch. I think I have that already. Do I already have tools? I felt like I had tools. Simple tools. Maybe I left it, or maybe I never had it to begin with. False memory. Alright, I saw ya. I saw ya. We're going to be weighed down with coal. We're actually not going to be able to carry all this coal. We're going to have to just drop it at the mouth of the mine when we get up to it, because we can no longer run it at this stage of weight, and we're continuing to pick up more. Whew. Well, we aren't going to have to chop firewood for a little while, guys. We can say that. Well, we got another lantern. You got fuel?
Could end up being useful.
You know? It doesn't have very much fuel in it. I never like breaking down lanterns to get the fuel, but what I will do is I will pull out the one with less condition, less fuel, and I'll use that to go through the rest of the cave, and that way I'm keeping the fuel that's in my nicer one, you know, as topped off as possible. And that way I can just dump this one and take my other one with as much fuel as I can. My nature in this game is very much of a min-maxer. Like, I want to min-max. I'm trying to not do that for the sake of the viewing experience, let's say. But when I'm just playing for fun, I very much am a min-maxer.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
So I can't not pick it up. So we'll get through to the end of this cave here and finish looting out that area, and then I think what I'll do is I'll hop out of the cave, or hop out of the mine and hop back into it real quick, just for saving purposes, because we're right about where I want to end this one. And I feel like this is a good stopping point, because in the next episode we get to go and start exploring a new zone in Coastal Highway and see what we can find there, and that's very exciting. Walking very slow because of my weight. We're now weighing 49 kilograms with a carrying capacity of 27. So yeah, we're a little heavy. There's no need to run though, and I would just as soon I'll put it down where, or put it all down near the entrance of the cave where I can easily come and access it later if I need to or wish to. Hey, more coal. We'll leave that. We'll leave that. It's gonna take me so long to walk to that. The main reason I want to try and pick up all the coal is not just because I'm a hoarder for coal, but it's because those spots where that coal was are actually boxes that will spawn more coal for you, but only if you pick it up. Oh, the audio is starting to go bad on me again. All right, so we're gonna cut this one off here. I'm gonna hop outside here and hop back in if I can find the right button. What are we at here? Day 6. All right, so not too bad so far. 6 days in. I feel like we've done a fair amount for only being in here or into it 6 days. Oh,
I think I can use this.
I think I already have one, but I'll take it. Nice thing about pry bars, even when you've opened every locked container in the game, they're very useful for opening the hole that you fish with. So that's one last little bit of trivia I'll leave you with in this episode. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. New episodes are coming out every Tuesday and Thursday. This has been Old Pete Gaming, and I'll catch you next time.